What's going on, everybody? This is your man, Dr. John C. Turner, aka the Professor JT, and we are live with episode 2 of season 4 of the Doc Chat. I'm telling you right now, I'm already buzzing because I got some heavy hitters on tonight, and we ain't playing. We coming with it tonight. They are going to come with some amazing knowledge about what in God's name is going on in this country of the United States of America. I got Dr. V. Boykin, I got Dr. Nick Williams, and Dr. Ron Miller on here with me. Hey, if you're tuning in, let us know you're tuning in. Let us know you're checking out the Doc Chat. Let us know where you're from. And I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a conversation you don't want to miss. Tell a friend, tell somebody. We on LinkedIn, we on YouTube, and we doing our thing on tonight on the Doc Chat. This is a ladies' first show, so you know where we got to go. Dr. V. Boykins, welcome to the Doc Chat once again. Let folks know a little bit about yourself, and we're glad to have you on. Oh, I think you're muted. Hold on.
Tech check. Hey, it's Dr. V. It's great to be back. Felon, stripper, author, and doctor. So good to see y'all. I am the author of Fix Your Face and Watch Your Tone. Women know what's needed. By the way, watching your tone and fixing your face is not what's needed.
Short, sweet, to the point. Hey, she's fired up tonight, so y'all get ready. Hey, we're going to go with my brother, Dr. Ron Miller. Dr. Ron, welcome back to the Doc Chat. Let folks know a little about yourself.
I'm Dr. Ron Miller, retired from the United States Air Force, now working in information technology, trying to get into AI, just living life one day at a time, trying to get through America as it seems to be today.
Get through is the clue. I'm telling you right now, it is a trip of what we see here right now. And last but definitely not least, the chef, the doctor, the educator, the man himself, Dr. Nick Williams, in that RVA, Richmond, Virginia. Man, I'm proud of you getting that doctorate done, and you're here on the show. Let folks know a little bit about yourself. Welcome back to the Doc Chat, my guy. Hold on. You got me.
Originally from DC, so anybody that's from the 202 Northern Virginia area, what's up? I am an educator. I work in higher education across many different spaces, from financial aid to student engagement to res life. So I've seen a lot of interesting things evolve in the industry. But also, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a business mind, and so I hope to bring that today as well. So great to be here. Thank you, Doc, for making this space.
Hey, man. We got to get the smartest, most intelligent, earned doctors in the world on the Doc Chat to talk about what's going on. As Dr. V talked about her book, we always got to talk about the Dr. Talker, some of the greatest doctors in the world talking about the amazing work they did getting their doctor degree. Like I said, you get that, you get Dr. V's book. We on Amazon. You better go get you one. I'm telling you, go get it today. And without further ado, we're going to jump right into the conversation. Like we said, we a ladies first show. If you're tuning in, if you're checking us out, make sure you let us know in the comments. Let us know you're tuning in. Let us know what you think. What in the world is going on with America? So we're going to start with Dr. V. What are your initial thoughts of somebody who got voted into the White House, not by me, and exactly what do you see happening right now on what is happening with America?
Well, I don't know, because I'm a DEI doctor. I couldn't possibly have any thoughts, ideas, or brilliance. I'm only here because I got special privileges because of my marginalized status. But if I wasn't a DEI doctor, I would say that we have, look, in my mind, when we elected Obama, we swung so far left for some people that they just couldn't take it. And they have been trying to swing us all the way back right in order to massage their guilt, mitigate their fears, and try and make sense of a world that is no longer theirs, even if they're mediocre. So my hope is, if we make it through day by day, because it's a different America every day,
that's right,
we'll somehow land back in the middle, which is a place of comfort for more people than all the way left or all the way right. But look, anybody that's asked me how to be an ally or what they can do, my response remains the same. You could have voted for Kamala because she's qualified. You didn't. So don't ask me what to do now because you didn't listen to me the first time.
Yeah. I'm telling you, Black women are done. They done with y'all.
Done.
And I'm not gonna lie, it's hurting us Black men too, because if Black women ain't on the forefront of leading our country, what are we about to do? Dr. Ron Miller, what's going on with America, man? What have been your thoughts these first few days that somebody's been in the White House?
This is like a bad dream. You could not have told me her losing would lead to this, right? So I'm in shock and awe. Like, did I really just hear what he said? Really, he said that? He did that? How do you negotiate with another country telling them you're about to be the 51st state? Oh, we coming at you. Oh, we coming for you. But we still need your money, so come on, send it down. Oh, wait, I'm gonna put a tax on that. How do you negotiate coming in guns hot? So I'm just confused and looking for some clarity because I can't find it.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about somebody playing double dutch with countries. Like, oh, I think I'm jumping in. Nope, I'm pulling out. I think I'm jumping in. I mean, it's a dangerous situation right now to where, as Dr. V said, we don't know per day what's going to happen. And Dr. Nick Williams, as you're starting to see it all play out, what's going on in America, man? What is happening? What's going on? What do you think is happening?
The era of the Lulu is over for some. For some of us, we haven't been ignorant to what this could have evolved into because that's been the historical experience of certain populations in America and around the world. And I think what we're seeing is the reckoning of where are we really? Because when we saw Obama get elected, I'm glad, Dr. B, I'm glad you brought that up. Because a lot of people thought, oh, we made it. We're good. We've solved 80% of the core issues that have been lagging or holding us back. We have really arrived at, where we have envisioned us being, where the forefathers have envisioned us being. And I think what this has done, we pulled the Band-Aid off the wound and seeing, is it truly healed or has it been just festering for a while? And we as a country sit in the disillusionment of where things really are. We haven't been honest. And I think what we're seeing across multiple industries and systems is, we have a lot more work to do. We've only tapped into like 1 or 2%. And all that's happening with this election cycle, with a lot of the policy shifts and changes, the questionable international relations and foreign policy.
Questionable. That's right.
We're sort of seeing this unraveling, and it's really challenging people to ask the question: do I sit passively by, or what can I do to mitigate the damage for the long term? But what can I also do to stand in the gap and make something happen? Because definitely some groups, some people, Black women, thank you, have stood in the gaps for a very long time. And I think we're being challenged right now as a nation, as a country, of what are we going to do when the very things that we've celebrated, that we've enjoyed the benefits of, are being challenged. That's the ultimate moral question of the compass of this country right now.
Yeah.
That I think every generation is really wrestling with.
Yeah. I'll tell you right now, folks, we just getting started. Oh, she's ready. I know she's ready. I'm about to let her have it. This is the Doc Chat, episode 2 of season 4. Dr. V, I gotta ask this because I'm gonna let you have it. We gonna give y'all 3-5 minutes on this one because I need some fire right now. What are we telling folks as doctors? What should we be telling folks? Because we are just in this state of people are really looking towards that intellectual person of color, that intellectual doctor, that Black, because they need answers and they're looking to us. So what should we be telling people right now?
Y'all should be telling people let Jasmine Crockett rest. Black women are so tired. They're so tired of making you feel better and telling you what to do and telling you it's okay and giving you a pass and no, that wasn't racist. And I know you didn't mean it that way. I've been thinking about this analogy for a long time. It's going to make a lot of people uncomfortable. So I know it's perfect. Racism in America is like herpes. 50 to 60, 40 to 50 million adults, according to the CDC, have either herpes 1 or 2. And the thing about herpes is it lies dormant and then it flares. So when you see someone, you may not know they have it. That person may not know that they're racist. You looking at the person may not know you're racist. I'm in Arizona and I know the way our state voted. So when I go to a restaurant, I'm looking around like, oh, you did it. And you did it. And you did it. Maybe you didn't do it. But it is. It's like herpes. And it requires a long therapeutic treatment. You have to have a continuous dose for a long amount of time. And then you still have to post that dose in there. You see, when Obama was elected, we forgot that America has herpes. That's what we forgot. But the problem is that Black women who control the medicine cabinet, we knew America had herpes because we're the one that has to go to the pharmacy and make the doctor's appointments and make sure you have the refill.
See, yeah. Tell you.
And so, and seriously, and being very serious, it is that way. It's this thing that lies dormant. It's this thing that reappears. It's this thing that you cannot cure. You manage. And what happened is we abdicated our tools to manage it because we thought anything was possible. So we stepped back and we started dreaming of what was possible and what we want to do and what we would do when we get there. We started putting together our plans. But while we were putting together our plans of unity and possibility and aspirational achievements, they were thinking about how they were going to kill the police officers at the Capitol when they took and stormed it. Yeah. They were thinking about how they could infiltrate all of the organizations that are that have law enforcement ability. They were thinking about how we can get somebody on the Supreme Court whose wife goes out there and hangs up the wrong flag. That's what they were doing. And we shouldn't be surprised, but because of our peace-loving nature, we're not, our first response isn't violence. That was one of the ways they got us in that whole slavery thing. Yeah. So here we are again, trying to operate as good people when good people are not what is being responded to and may not be what's being recognized. So as a white passing Black woman with tons of privilege, I'm tired. So y'all go ahead.
I'm telling you, that's why Dr. V is the best over here. She gonna let y'all know the truth. And that is the truth right there. We appreciate the docs even tuning in. Dr. Sams, Dr. Williams over there, we appreciate y'all tuning in. And I'm telling you, if you're tuning in, let us know your thoughts about this conversation because we know you have some feelings about it. We know you have something to say about it. And that's why we're here on the Doc Chat to talk about it. Dr. Ron Miller, man, as a doctor, what should we be telling the nation, man? What should we be telling the people because they're looking to us for some wisdom and knowledge?
Well, first of all, we got to know what's going on in the country before we can get to these international negotiations and trade deals and whatnot. What's going on in the country, right? Every time you turn around from the time he lost the original election, there's been a challenge. I don't hear nothing about a challenge now that he won.
Yeah.
So my background is my research is in trust, right? Typically trust when a data breach happens and then the company exposes or your information is exposed, your personally identifiable information. So if I can't trust you to hold on to what's sacred to me, how can I trust you to know what's in my best interest? Because you just told me you didn't have my best interest at heart, right? And I'm not trying to feel a certain way, but I can't help it, right? We should be telling people to know who to trust. But to do that, you got to be educated on what the topic of the day is. And don't be blindsided by the smoke and mirrors, because there's a whole lot of smoke and mirrors going on daily to distract us. So weed through the noise and find where the information is. We're all processing information, right? We're doing data analysis to get where we are. So we're very good at analyzing the data and removing the noise. We got to filter that down to everybody. And once that happens, we can see past the smoke and mirrors. Oh, there's the truth that's been hiding from me. This is what you're doing. Okay, I got you now. Now I can see in the dark. Because the sunny side of the street is clouding up. And if we can't get back to the light, what are we doing?
Man, that's powerful right there. Absolutely powerful right there. Because I'm telling you, when we talked about this, when we did episode 1 last week, the left is doing something, but we got to watch what the right is doing. And now there's not just a left and a right. There's a far left, a far right, and now there's even further right that's so far we don't even know what's going on because they're talking about this while they're doing something else over here. Because if I see one more rocket go up and explode, why y'all keep going to space? I'm gonna leave that alone. All right, Dr. Nick Williams. What can we tell the folks as doctors, man? What should we be telling the people?
Well, one big word, 4-letter word, vote. And I'm not just talking about the federal level, I'm talking about the state level. They want to push things back to the states. Well, guess what? We have, as a nation, put less effort to understand what's happening at the state level in the state elections. Like, I'm even looking at Virginia right now. How many people know that we have an election coming up for our governor? Because we have a rule where the governor can't serve consecutive terms. And so people need to pay attention to what's happening on. Who are the candidates currently running for that office? What are their policy stances? How does that impact the school systems, the job markets in the state? We have been a United States of America, but we have been a 50-state story as well. We have 50 different economies that have different needs as well. That's the playbook they want to play. Well, we need to also put forth and step into the state level and vote. Become aware about what's happening. Really do your research. I think we look at how much, I think about when I was in school, we were constantly pushed to be critical thinkers. My dad has always taught me, be an informed voter. You can't vote if you aren't looking at what's really happening in the details. Because what's really happening right now is an erasure through the lens of ignorance. Because we choose to ignore the things that are really happening beyond the smoke and mirrors, that we are allowing the things that are critical to allowing us to feel like we belong, to feel safe in spaces, to become who we're called to become, to be easily erased. And thing is, erasure doesn't permanently delete things, but it fades it enough to where it can barely be seen. And that's what we're seeing happening right now. Wow. Because we haven't allowed ourselves to stay informed, stay in the trenches of figuring out information. We are at an information age right now. I was talking to my Uber driver earlier today, and he asked me, what's happening with this current youth generation? And I'm thinking about what I'm seeing in the classroom, what I'm seeing in higher education, what I've seen in my own education. And I'm thinking, this generation has access to the most amount of information. When I was in high school, Facebook was just starting to roll through,
right?
Just starting to get its feet wet.
We read it. We read newspapers back in the
newspapers. And the kids nowadays, I mean, I look at TikTok. TikTok is a news source. You get, like, I found out about stuff that's happening around the world and around the country faster than most people would get on the TV screen. So this generation's getting more information at a faster pace. The challenge is they haven't been equipped with how to filter through what's fluff and what's truth. Correct. And that comes from that critical thinking, the ways that we have dialogue and debate. I know my dad has always challenged me and my siblings to look at multiple sources of information and critically think, how do they relate to each other? How do they differ from each other? And find truth in the midst of multiple perspectives.
That's good.
I don't think that as a nation, we're doing enough of that. Now, as doctors, we are forced to do that in the pursuit of doing our research and building our methodologies and things like that. Those are critical skills that we have to employ. But how do we get that into the K through 20 pipeline? You don't have to have a doctorate to employ critical thinking into everything that you do. it's not just an academic problem, it's the way that we are not allowing our thinking processes to critically look at multiple lenses and thread them to really find truth.
That's right.
I'm seeing more youth. It was so surprising to see the amount of youth that voted this year, but did not do their research. They went off one snippet of social media and said, "Oh, that's truth." Like, we have to really think critically to minimize the amount of erasure that's happening right now. For me, sense of belonging is a research topic that I have always looked at. It's a lens that's allowed me to find, spaces that allow me to feel like I belong, to feel like I'm enough. And I think, again, we have to really work on the thinking process. So that's what I think is, we have to vote, but don't just vote off of ignorance, vote with information, look at multiple sources, have conversations with people that you trust. I think that is definitely like, who do you trust? Who I look at, who has the fruit, who is doing the work to really become informed. Ask around, what are sources? Sometimes starting with parents, with mentors, with sponsors, peers, but we really have to do better at thinking as a nation as we're looking at what's transforming, but also understand policy. I said this earlier, is you don't need to get a law degree, but you do need to read, what does the Constitution actually say? Words matter.
That's right.
Words are power. That's how a lot of the tragedies in America have come through, because words were abused and used to create spaces of ignorance. We cannot allow words to be the shackles that enslave us, and prevent us from really critically thinking about, how do we find spaces of belonging? How do we really stop what's erasing who we are in these spaces? So
beautiful.
That's my 2 cents.
Man, that's more than 2 cents right there, my brother. That's some deep stuff, and we need it. We appreciate y'all for tuning in right now. People are tuning in all over YouTube, LinkedIn. We appreciate y'all. Dr. Woody, good evening to you, sir. We appreciate all your insights on last week. And I'm telling you, my guy, Dr. Williams, he's dropping that knowledge, man. I'm telling you, the key is equipping individuals with knowledge and skills to navigate change, challenge misinformation, and drive meaningful progress. Look, man, this is why we have the doc check, because we're letting y'all know not just what you need to do, just is how you should do it. And that's where I'm going to give it to Dr. V. How in the world do we get that knowledge? Do we get that research? Where do we go to get this so people are not misinformed, and not just saying they are ignorant, being ignorant when they don't have to be? What can we do?
Well, I like to joke around a lot, but in all seriousness, it's time to riot, run, and revise. We need to riot, and that is filling the streets, but also on paper, also on video, also through media, right? It's that riot of idea. We don't need to break things and smash things, although I understand why people want to. I get it. And I'm not here to judge, but I do strongly discourage. But there's different ways to riot. We need to run. We need to run for office, right? We do. Yeah. We actually need to run for anybody that doesn't have a felony. Why ain't y'all running for office? Public. Oh, I'm sorry. Even if you do have a felony, hell, give it a go anyway, right? Apparently, you could do that.
Hey,
no, that's just for white men.
Hey, go for it.
That's just for white men. I'm sorry, that's just for white men. Okay. And revise how you spend. Revise where you go.
Yeah.
Revise what you watch. Revise what you support. They fire the Black news anchor. You don't watch that anymore. It does make a difference. I talked to a brilliant young person, and they were sharing with me that they are like, well, there's only about 5 Democrats doing anything anyway, and nobody's doing anything, and I'm going to withdraw my money. And I'm like, well, I love you dearly, but you're like not even 18. You don't have any money to withdraw. You're not spending enough to influence. But it's that thought of there's nothing to do, and you're watching our youth get radicalized, which, as someone who was pretty radical when they were younger as well as older, I get it. But we need to riot, run, and revise. It is that simple, run for office. I mean, I never thought I would see the day where I'm like, I miss Bush, the young one. I miss him.
Boy,
I miss Romney. Mitt Romney, where you at? Hey, I miss Republicans. I definitely miss John McCain. I even miss Sarah Palin compared to bad built Butch Body.
yeah.
I really do. So I think that, but America has always been a landscape of rough and tumble politics. We got more civil. We did not start that way. And make no mistake about it, this country was not founded by us, for us, but it wasn't founded on a peaceful premise.
Absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. I'm telling you, there's knowledge that needs to be heard. And you're hearing it right here on the Doc Chat. Did you just take a drink sip? I'm telling you right now.
We tired
and
thirsty.
Hey, I understand. We just want y'all to be informed and know that you could get the knowledge. Know there's people that can help you get the knowledge. You don't have to sit out there and just say, well, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. Or just even say, well, they're not going to win. There's no way they're going to win. I remember dating a young lady back in 2016. She just knew Trump was not going to win. And I said, well, he might have a shot. Anybody that's in the game has a shot to win. That's why I appreciate y'all saying, please run for something. Run for it so you can make a difference. Dr. Ron, as we're looking at where we're at right now, what we could be doing, what is the solution to getting to knowledge out there so that people can have it, so they don't have to feel like they need to be ignorant on what's happening? And if y'all still tuning in, keep the chat blowing up. Keep the comments coming. We see y'all and we appreciate y'all. Dr. Ron, it's on you, my guy.
Those people who choose to be in the dark will stay in the dark until they want to seek the light. Knowledge is something you have to want to know, want to find, want to better understand. I can talk to you all day about coming out of the darkness and into the light. But if you don't have a burning desire to want to be in the light, you're going to stay cold in the shadow. So, and I was in the shadow for a long time. I ain't gonna lie to you. I never thought I was going to college. I wanted to be in the military and that was it. Thought that was the game. That's all I wanted to do until, oh, what is this? Let me take this class right quick so I can get this new job. Ooh. Oh, this is fun. I don't have to go outside. What? Weather is not impacting me. I need to find some knowledge.
Yeah.
But I did that because I see what knowledge can do. Instead of going straight, oh, knowledge can bring me over here. Knowledge can take me over there.
Options.
Knowledge has taken me around the world on a trek or a journey, if you will, to see what God intended me to see.
Yep.
So you have to want to find knowledge. You got to want to trust the feeling inside of you to go and get it. It's not going to just fall in your lap. You got to want to find it and go get it.
Yeah.
With that knowledge comes now responsibility to, hey, come on, let me tell you something, because I see you about to mess up.
Mm-hmm.
So let me help you before you make that mistake and it injure your upward mobility, wherever you may be, right?
Yeah.
So I think we need to find someone who wants to be mentored and mentor them. Find somebody who doesn't want to be mentored and mentor them.
Yeah. And
promote the knowledge that we found, because, you know, we didn't get here on our own.
No.
Somebody had to help us to where we are, shine the light in our face and say, hey, this is what you're looking for? I got it. Come get it. Mm-hmm. If you really want it. And once they shine their light on our face and we walk towards it, hey, this is fun. Let's go do some more. So we got to make it interesting to be in the light, because it's easy to be in the shadow. Hey, I don't got to do nothing. I can just relax, just do me. And the more people coming out of the light, the more the group now, because now we're forming a group of knowledge seekers, then now the group can do more as a group versus as an individual. So I think this is a collective bargaining agreement, if you will, to where we're coming out of the light, coming out of the dark and into the light. But the more people we get on the bandwagon, the more people can do something in their particular area of interest.
That's right. That's
so
good.
Spread the light is where I'm living at right now. The light comes trust, spread the trust. The question now is who to trust.
Mm.
Where is this information? Why is news all of a sudden fake? When did that happen? I remember Walter Cronkite back in these old days with them old news anchors. They came on, everybody was going to the TV looking like, what are they going to say today? It was only a couple times you saw the news. You didn't see the news every minute of every hour.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the overload of information we have now. Anybody can promote the news from any angle, anywhere, around the globe. How do you process all that information coming in at once? Who do you trust?
Mm-hmm. Powerful, absolutely powerful. Kamala Harris had to go snatch Cardi B by the wig because she talked about she wasn't going to vote. And she said, no, you have too much influence. You can't be telling people that because we need people to go vote. And the big thing that I learned is even a non-vote is a vote for somebody.
Right.
We have to realize that. Dr. Nick, as we're looking at what can we really make sure we're telling people about getting the knowledge, and you kind of hinted on that, getting that right knowledge, what should we be telling people?
Well, one, we have to be unified in how we really pursue that knowledge, but also how we create space for information sharing and how we really address the core issues and build resolutions that are sustainable for the long term. I think we've had years of band-aids, but we need long-term intentional solutions to really resolve these systemic issues that are impacting every industry. And yes, I'm coming from the business sector, I'm coming from the education sector, but I think that we have to really understand where our power is as individuals and also as groups. We have to build tables that allow us to have a voice. Sometimes we've been in this era where we've had to ask for a seat at the table. And in some seasons that makes sense, but in other seasons we have to just build the tables ourselves and start having the conversations for potential solutions and build enough of a coalition. I think we are in that era now. What we're seeing with things like TikTok, podcast, all these different ways that people are building their own platforms from the ground up to then shift the dialogue on where the focus should be to build long-term solutions. I think we have to do more of that, of building tables, but also knowing strategically when to ask for a seat and at what tables that are truly productive. We actually have negotiating power for our voices to actually be heard. I often say, like, I'm an alumni of institutions, and I understand the dynamics of, as an alumni, I can leverage that influence or power in certain situations and spaces at certain times to help erect long-term change. As long as we kind of, I've seen it happen in higher ed over the years. But I also think that sometimes when it comes to change, when it comes to these kind of things that are going on, people often think that you have to be like MLK at the very forefront, be the figure, the face, and people don't realize the secret to the success of the civil rights movement wasn't just the impact MLK had as the face of the movement. There are so many people in history across multiple civil rights, human rights issues that weren't at the forefront, but their impact allowed for change to happen for the long term. And so we have to recognize what spaces in the ecosystem do we most shine? Can our gifts and talents be most effective? I've watched it when I was living in Charlottesville and the alt-right movement came to Charlottesville very unexpectedly. Yeah. And I'm sitting there like, I'm getting phone calls left and right from family and from friends. Are you okay? What's going on? And I'm thinking, well, I have a torn ACL. I don't know if I can go out there and march. I want to go march, but also I'm a higher ed professional. I feel torn because I could lose my job if I, as a representative of this institution. So what's the one thing I can do? I can have informed conversations about how do we move forward from here? What can we do and address, and build space and build tables for those conversations to happen. So we get people at the right time and spaces. I'm a bridge builder. I can build bridges using the skills of networking that I have to pull people that I know, hey, this person will be great to sit at this table. I have access. I can leverage my relationships in that kind of way. So I look at it as what are the macro and micro things that you can do to really build those tables, but also build space for voice. But we also can't be passive. We have to all be active. And this isn't just a Black thing. This is in everyone who genuinely cares about the success of people in the world in these spaces in the states, in the country, we can no longer sit passively and say, well, it's not impacting me, so why should I even get involved? Thing is, your passivity is also enablement for the system to perpetuate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we have to really be active participants in this space, but also lean into our strengths and leverage where macro and macro and micro ways in which we can make an impact. And I think that's what we have to critically think about and be informed and vote. There's no room to ignore voting when that comes through. There's no one should ignore the dates of elections when they're happening in your state. I'd be very surprised. They'd be very surprised if someone lives in a state and there's been a major issue or challenge. They don't know what had happened. Like the George Floyd, I was watching Love is Blind and watching someone that didn't know about George Floyd in his own state. I'm sitting there like, how do you not know what's going on in your state? So we have to be informed at multiple levels. And I say that at the second piece too, understand that this is not something that you have to carry on your own. This is why that unity is so vital. We also have to take care of ourselves. Wars aren't fought in a day. It takes time. So we also have to hold space for ourselves to have a moment to breathe so that we can come back into the fight, into the challenge, refueled with a better strategy and approach. So
beautiful. Love it. Love it. Since the Doc Chat, folks, I'm telling you, people are tuning in. They're dropping comments. They're letting us know what they think. We appreciate all of y'all for tuning in. And I'm telling you right now, the knowledge that you all are dropping is key and crucial to what we need right now. We need people to know that there are doctors out there that have done the research, they have earned the degrees, they put in the work, and they have something to say. That's why we have the Doc Chat, because we're giving that platform. This is the voice of the doctors, and we appreciate that. So I want y'all to take a deep breath, because I'm about to put y'all on the spot. Got about a few minutes left, but I want you to envision this. You are on a stage right now. It is 1,000 high school to college age young people that, what, Gen Z, I think that's what it is. I mean, I don't know what's next after that because we out of letters. I don't know. But this is you on that stage right now. You're the keynote. I want you to give what you would tell those young people right now in this moment that they need to know so that they could be successful in their life. This is the Doc Chat pop-up keynote. We're going to do this right here, right now. Dr. V, you're up.
Well, I would say, when I was your age and into my late 40s, I really thought that the key to ending racism was just to wait for all the racist people to die. Like, that was actually my strategy and my thought. And then I realized they were making more of them, so they never would actually die. And so if you are in high school and younger, you have a unique opportunity to have conversations with people that may not like you, to have conversations with people that may not respect you. It is very, very hard to hate someone you actually know until they give you that reason. But seriously, it's very hard to hate someone you know. And you have a unique opportunity to reduce the amount of people who are racist because of the environment that you're in. Now, don't be foolish and don't harm yourself, and protect your mental health. But also use this time as an opportunity, because the connections you make is one less person to carry on the fear, which is really what's fueling this right now. They're afraid they're going to lose it all. The pretend majority is afraid they're going to lose it all, that mediocre job won't be available for them with their mediocre performance. But if they know you and they connect with you, they'll celebrate your brilliance, or they'll out themselves, and then you really know who to maneuver around. Either way, you have a unique opportunity to do something I can't, because I'm not making new friends at this age, not like you are.
Hey, you see that Drake reference in there? No new friends right now. Okay. Absolutely.
They not like us.
Just to believe, folks, you get into them 30s or 40s, meet new friends, dating, all those different types of things. That's another show for another day. But Dr. Ron Miller, you got the hot mic. You're in front of 1,000 high school age, college age young people on the Doc Chat pop-up keynote. What would you tell them, bro?
I would start off with life and conversations with people like a puzzle. Each conversation you have, each step, each year you make, you drop another piece of the puzzle into place. Sooner or later, whether we're talking about life or that person you're having a conversation with, that picture is going to become clear of who you're dealing with. So you got to have multiple conversations with them before you get that clear image of, oh, this is who you are. Good or bad, you liking me is not my business. I might like you more than you like me, but if you don't like me, that ain't my business. I'm not going to burn the sand of time worrying about whether you like me or not. I'm going to like who I like. Hello is free for everybody until it's not, and is needed to not be. But initially, I want to inspire you to be who you are by having conversations with people to figure out who they are. And when they tell you who they are, listen, digest it, understand that this is who they are, and let's go be successful, because you got a different path than hate. Hate is not the way to look at anything in life. You want to be successful, you can't hold hate in your heart, because you hold it, you're going to burn up from the inside. So the puzzle, each conversation is a piece to that puzzle for everyone you talk to. Sooner or later, you understand 2 or 3 pieces of the puzzle. You know who that person is. You know what's in front of you and your goals. I got to do this short term. I got to do this long term. Drop a piece of the puzzle into place. Now you got a path you can walk to success. So your success is defined by, what does your puzzle look like?
Ooh, that's fire right there. That's some good stuff.
Now that's
right
patent pending. So anybody make a reference to it, go on and cite you for it, let me know.
You gave me a teaser. That's that teaser right there. Get ready. Dr. Ron Miller about to come with something you ain't never seen or heard before. Dr. Nick Williams, let's go with the keynote. Pop up here on the Doc Chat. You're standing in front of 1,000 high school age, college age young people. What would you tell them today, my brother?
Knees weak, arms are heavy. I just had a bowl of my mom's spaghetti. But just to divert, they probably don't even know who that is.
Give it in, folks. Give it
but in all seriousness, I would say all it takes is a seed. Do you know that every forest in the world starts from just one singular seed? That really you as an individual have more power to be a catalyst for change than you realize. You don't have to be the biggest. You don't have to be the smartest. However, you should be the most informed. You should be able to stand up for people that you care about. Like, I want people to really think about, like, really just close your eyes and imagine who's the most important person to you in your life right now. Now imagine them sick. What would you do if they were sick? Caught a cold, flu, potentially COVID, because it's become a norm now. You would do whatever you could to make sure that they had everything they need. What if they lost their job and needed a place to stay? You would open your doors and make sure they have a room on your couch to stay for a few days while they get back on their feet. Like, you can't be so solid in your individuality and think that if it's not impacting me, I'm good. Everything we do is a seed that impacts not just us, but those we care about. If we care about the people that we care about, we have to look at every decision that we make has a ripple effect on more than just what we can see. We have to be actively engaged individuals in this space so that we can protect those that we care about. We can make sure that we get what we need, but also others don't suffer and lose what they need. We can't do this by ourselves. I said everything starts with a seed, but you understand the whole ecosystem that birds and the bees, butterflies, and other insects help spread the seeds across land in order for it to grow into a forest. It takes us all to make that decision. That's the kind of impact that you have. And honestly, y'all have the greatest amount of opportunity to do the greatest amount of change, positive change in this world. Because all it takes is a seed.
Love it. Love it. I'm telling you, folks, that's the Doc Chat keynote pop up. And I'm telling you, Dr. Williams, Dr. Boynton, and Dr. Ron Miller, they came with it. And I appreciate even the docs chiming in. What would they tell them? Dr. Woody said, I tell them we are the state of emergency. We need their help to get rid of the coin-operated administration. That's pretty good right there. That's really good. Dr. Roy Rodney says, you're the authors of tomorrow's story, and every choice you make today shapes the next chapter. Don't underestimate the power of your voice, values, and your vision. Dr. Williams said, I would tell them that their education is just a degree. It's a tool to shape their future. Stay curious, challenge assumptions, and never stop learning. I'm telling you right now, folks, these are the most intelligent doctors in the world. We've had doctors on the Doc Chat all the way in Australia. It was night here when we had the show. It was morning there. And they still took the time to chime in because these are the doctors on the Doc Chat. This is the voice of the doctors. And I'm going to give it to Dr. V. Boykins. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. We got a few minutes left. And I'm just going to ask her one thing. What's your solution to where we at to help us get through these next 4 years?
Well, women know what's needed. We've always known what's needed, and we've always shown up. Patience, kindness, empathy, responsibility. But I think more than that, and to be very succinct, it may feel, especially if you're a female, that America hates you right now just as much as the other marginalized groups, because it was very evident with Hillary Clinton and very evident with Kamala Harris. It doesn't matter how qualified we are, what we look like, y'all just want to hate us. But luckily, your brilliance isn't dependent on someone's level of acceptance or their level of hate. So keep on keeping on, because they can do a whole lot to us, and we still rise.
That is Dr. Boykin, author of Fix Your Face, Watch Your Tone. I'm telling you right now, if you don't follow her on LinkedIn, you better, because she be dropping the hammer every single week with knowledge and wisdom that you need. We appreciate you for being on the Doc Chat one more time. We appreciate you. Dr. Ron Miller, what's your one solution, my guy? What would you tell the nation they need to do, we need to do to make it through these next 4 years?
Patience is going to be key to living one day at a time, because we don't know what's around the corner, right? So patience is a virtue that I have a hard time with myself. So I'm swallowing my own medicine as I say this. But yeah, this is going to be a roller coaster ride. That strap yourself in, know what your puzzle looks like. If you're still putting it together, keep putting it together.
Yeah.
But to get through this, we're going to have a whole lot of understanding for the moment. It's going to change tomorrow. But for right now, understand what's going on. Look through the smoke and mirrors to see what's on the other side. Because not everything in front of your face is really what's going on. That's just to keep you captivated in that moment of time. So why is this happening right now? But focus further out. Don't zoom in on what's right close to you in the 10-foot range. What's further down the line? What, as we call it, what's down range? And if you can see that far, the smoke and mirrors are not going to trip you up along your journey day to day. 4 years went by the first time right quick. But I see we've learned some things from the first 4 years, and now round 2 is up. We got to see what we need to learn now. So the learning is lifelong learning. It don't stop.
That's good right there. That is the man, the myth, the legend, Dr. Ron Miller. We appreciate you, my brother, for everything that you drop on the Doc Chat on tonight. Dr. Nick Williams, how are we going to get through these next 4 years? I mean, I feel like bro, man, on the 5th floor sometimes, because this stuff is going crazy to me. It's going crazy. But what can we do? What's your one solution to help us get through these next 4 years?
Build community. If anything's ever evident now more than ever, we have to build intentional community, because the one thing, and I've had to catch myself with all this flip-flopping circus work that's going on, and there's a lot of confusion about what's really happening. And what begins to happen is that our emotions get caught up in the flips, and we become dysregulated, and thus we don't know which way we're looking or turning or moving. We need to have our anchor community. When our emotions get riled up, we have to have that community that can ground us and be like, hey, look, let's let the dust settle first before we react. Because reacting right now is not going to produce the long-term results that we're really looking for. Having community is vital. And I'm not just talking about just within the Black community. I mean, people that really want to see the change happen, we have to be able to have intentional conversations, but also look out for one another and build space for one another. Because I firmly believe that this is probably because I came from a military family. So I think really strategically is that we have to move with a strategic plan in mind. We have to operate with clarity. We can't operate with any smoke. We can't operate with just small bits of information. We have to really be clear about what the long-term objectives are that we're trying to accomplish. And that takes community to build that clarity, to build and identify, okay, who's going to do what? I've watched military and how they are able to move to accomplish a mission, but we have to be clear on what that mission really is. And if our emotions are fluctuating with all the stuff that's happening that's out of our control right now, we can't be clear about where we fit in that puzzle to help drive the change forward, to help minimize the kind of erasure that's happening. As an educator myself, I'm thinking like, well, for a lot of my students, I'm an anchor. They're coming to me for really understanding what's going on in the world right now. And if I instantly react to everything that's happening at this quick pace, I can't give them clear direction of, hey, look, honestly, I don't know what's going on right now, but here's what we can do. Here's what I challenge you to do. Look up multiple sources of information and become an informed voter. 2, I want you to look up what dates are happening in your areas and get informed about what candidates are running. That's what I can control, is give you those keys. Because right now we can't control all that's happening in the international politics and the federal government policies. We have to wait a little bit, and that does require the patience and endurance, the persistence. But we have to be clear so that we can move with intention, so that the change we make isn't just a Band-Aid, it's a long-term counter. It's a long-term change that lasts and sustains itself, so we don't go through this again. So build community. It is the heartbeat to how we're going to get through these next several years.
And that is the word from Dr. Nick Williams. We appreciate you, my brother. And I'm telling you, time always flies when you're having fun, ladies and gentlemen, and we are just about out of time. I'm going to allow these great doctors to let them tell you where you can find them. Starting with Dr. V, let us know about your book. Let us know what you got upcoming. And we appreciate you for being on the Doc Chat once again.
Thank you as always. You can find me, Dr. V Boykin, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram. Please check out Fix Your Face and Watch Your Tone. Women Know What's Needed. Again, you don't need to fix your face nor watch your tone. And the second book coming out, Fix Your Face and Watch Your Tone, Hard Lessons, Simple Truths. If you want to know how I went from a stripper, felon, single mom to a doctor with 4 degrees, take a read. I think you'll enjoy it.
Absolutely love it. We appreciate you. And she has the greatest son in the world, the greatest hubby in the world.
That is true.
It's a family affair. I love seeing them support this woman, everything that she does. I'm telling you, just beautiful, beautiful spirits, beautiful folks. We appreciate you, Dr. Boykin. Definitely appreciate you. Dr. Ryan Miller, tell us where folks can find you and what you up to, my brother.
I'm on LinkedIn. I have some thoughts about writing a book, but I got to get my trust game together. So soon, coming soon, I should say. There might be something on a piece of paper for you to put your eyeballs on to get to understand why trust is so elusive. Why is it an illusion, as one author put it? That's where my heart lies. So I'll be at your front door here soon.
Hey, man, I'm telling you, if you're ready to do it, let's go ahead and do it. I'm telling you, you just put that first little bit of knowledge on one piece of paper. And once you get on that one piece of paper, oh, I'm telling you, it's going to take off from there. We're proud of you, my brother. We appreciate you being on today.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
And Dr. Nick Williams, where can folks find you and what you up to, my brother? You
can find me on LinkedIn, Instagram for now. Working on that for long term. You can find me on Instagram as I am Dr. Professor Nick, or my private chef page, Chef Nick Experience, letter X Experience. I do have cookbooks, so definitely check the links in my bio for those cookbooks. I have another one that I'm working on to come out this summer, so be on the lookout for that, because I do think that food is therapy, but also food builds community. When I say build community, go support your local businesses in the cities that you're in. And that's where you can start building community. Because when we break bread over food, it takes away any walls that we have up. So I encourage you, cook with people, go support local businesses, especially now more than ever. Local businesses, please support them. But you can find me on LinkedIn, especially, and Instagram. I'm most active there. But please hit me up if you're ever in Richmond. I'm always happy to grab coffee, food, talk shop, show you around the city. But really, that's where I'm at. So come find me. Happy to chat. And if you need anything, hit me up.
Love it. We love it. That is Dr. Nick Williams. And I'm telling you, folks, I appreciate you letting me know that knowledge that a new governor is coming in, because when Youngkin got in, that state went crazy because a lot of people did not think he was going to win, and he won. And so voting matters, folks. Get out there, vote. Make sure you support all of your elections. We need that help. So we want to make sure folks know as well, coming up next week, we got an exclusive for you. We have our amazing Women's Her Story Month episode. This is going to be our second annual, hosted by amazing Dr. Michelle Renser. She has found 4 women doctors from the Bahamas to be on the show on next week. I'm telling you, I've never even seen it before. I'm so hyped. I'm so excited. She will be the great doctor host on next week. Make sure you're tuned in Thursday, March 20th, 8 p.m. here on the Doc Chat, LinkedIn, YouTube. It is going to be special. I'm so excited. Shout out to the Women's History Month. It is her story that needs to be heard and told, because if we don't have women, none of us are here. Amen and amen. So on that note, we appreciate y'all so much. Everybody that tuned in, I appreciate the love that y'all showed. And I'm telling you, we'll be here Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern on LinkedIn, YouTube. This is the Doc Chat, the voice of the doctors. On behalf of Dr. Boykin, Dr. Williams, and Dr. Miller, I am your man, the Professor JT, Dr. John C. Turner. And until next time, everybody, we say peace out.